reasons why we're here is to look at how critical manure stuff is. And so we had some issues with getting even distribution with the application. And so you can see at the angle, here it's higher, and here it's just a little lower. And you can see where the thing turns around and you miss parts, even though we're putting long-acting urea around the outside edges. There's something in this manure that can't be duplicated. And this was one of the fields that got planted a little later. It's heavy soil, and it's just we're seeing more unevenness like this. I think we saw a little bit last week, but this is a challenging year for this heavy soil the later you planted.
Do you think you had emergence problems with some of the later stuff? That was kind of the feeling I got. I took a little walk up in here.
Well, Gary Boulder isn't here, so yeah. The Monsanto person says there's environmental issues, right, Jeremy? But different hybrids are worse than others, so there's a combination of issues.
Well, anyway, this is what I dug. I dug this plant out first just to make sure we had a shot at some good roots all the way down. And then I kind of laid out some of these clods as I went down. And what I noticed, you know, we dug one of these last week. We do have wormholes. Do have some channels in here.
Yeah, I've been digging here too.
But I think maybe less than what we were seeing last week. You know, and like, I think it certainly does make a pretty big difference on the ability of that soil, those roots to penetrate down in. And it was pretty hard digging, but as I got down into the subsoil, it actually does still have a fair amount of moisture down there.
I was shocked as I started digging here.
Yeah, we had a fair amount of moisture, and it actually got a little sandier, and it sure looked like those roots were spreading out a little more when they got down in there. And I had a couple of good roots that I kind of followed down, and I got tired of digging before I ran out of root. So that's all the way to the bottom of that tiling hole, bottom of that hole, and a pretty good sized root at that. So I think we're doing pretty well here, Bob. You know, I mean, that's certainly what we need this year.
2 foot? Is that about 2 foot?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's the soil surface, so I mean, we're all of that, and it's still a pretty good sized root down in there. I suppose we could yank on that pup and see if we could get it out of there.
So Jeremy, if you look at the soil, that would be what, less than 50% available moisture anymore, right?
Yeah.
Can I use that?
Sure, yeah.
I guess
as long as I don't have to operate it again, go to town.
A little bit in, and I was surprised as I got in and looked at some stuff, how much moisture as you come up with it, and I found worms and stuff. So the heat is really taking its toll.
Yeah.
We didn't have 100-degree temperature, and we had 80-degree temperature. This corner looked a lot different.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because you can see how I push in. It's soft. It's moist there.
Is high oak, Bob?
Yes, only 40 feet.
Where's your probe? Push in. Where are the hands? It's a hard
there.
What deep are you in? I wasn't watching it go down. It was a little straight.
But I think that's the weather more than the management.
Well, I'm just,
but it takes a while to get beyond that.
Yep.
And roots go through. But
I guess from what we've been reading and told that the more you build that living organism in the soil, you know, they will help break up that that hard pan along with the system that they were teaching us was some cover crops along with it. To,
See, like
Yeah,
that,
once
just
you
go
get
right
through it.
down.
Once you got through that,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think once you get past this dried out layer,
Now what you have to do, Bob, is go on the end about 10 feet from the ditch.
yeah, that'd be a whole different.
Try it.
You know what has happened, you know, now the planters are bigger, so you know you're putting more in-rows on. You might not be turning around quite as close to the ditch as you used to, but it used to be, man. And you still do. You pick the in-rows out, they are suffering more.
We see with our manure and turnaround that with a 12-row head, that first 6 rows, the yield just goes right down
Yeah,
because of fertility and turning and issues.
let's walk up and look at residue just real quick, as long as it's on.